Hey guys, it's Christina again. I'm just excited about some things that are going to go on, so I thought I'd update you today. I'm actually going to go down a list I've made. Oh, okay. So, I've been super excited about starting my liquid diet. I know everybody's excited about starting their liquid diet. No, but really, I'm just excited because it means that it's one day closer to getting my lap band and one day closer to me actually being able to have the tools I need to get closer to change my life more than I have ever before. And I just got off of a 3-day weekend, so I was feeling pretty good this morning. And I got up, did my hair, did my makeup. As you guys can see, I just recently got contacts again because all my other videos have glasses. Um, and I didn't feel like anything was out of the ordinary today, but I got to work and I walked in the door and my boss goes, "I'm not even trying to joke with you right now, but you look really good today." I was like, "Oh, thanks. That looks great. Thanks for that." And I just kind of shrugged it off because, whatever. Then another employee, one of my people that I'm a manager of at the bank, was like, "I'm not going to lie, you do look pretty good today." And so I was like, well, okay, there's two. So I actually work in one of those banks that's inside of a grocery store. And I went to go get supplies today so that we could go out in the aisles and talk to people about certain products. And I was on my way to the Valentine's section, and this girl stopped me and she goes, can I ask you a question for a minute?" And she's kind of nervous. I was like, "Yeah, what do you need to ask me?" And she goes, "Well, first of all, you look pretty good today, and I'm not trying to be awkward, but would you happen to want to maybe model for me?" I was like, "What?" Say what? You are joking. And she's like, "No." She sells a product. It's called Body by Artists, I think. I think I've heard of them before, and they're basically a shaper that uh, their claim to fame is that they try to make you look 2 sizes smaller. And she was just like, "I think that you would do really good, for the type of model that I'm looking for." I was like, "Well, you can definitely email me and we can talk about it, but we'll see." And part of me, like, being sensitive to my struggle with my weight, part of me was like, I'm there's part of me that would have been, like, offended by that, but I chose not to because everybody been complimenting me about how I look today, and so I'm just gonna take it and roll with it, and it was quite the ego stroke. Sorry. Um, let's see. One of the people that has recently subscribed to me and commented on one of my other videos told me to check out Lindsay Arbogast's videos, which I did, and I love them. And I think that she has done an incredible job after only having the lap band and working with it less than a year. She looks incredible. And she has her kids in some of her most recent videos, and they are precious. I will just say that. But the very first video I watched from her was a video of her pre-lap band talking about why she didn't want to go back to being big. And there is another YouTube user, her name's like Winsong, something or other, um, who quoted, and like I totally know what Lindsay's talking about in her video when she talks about this, because I watched this particular video where she had said that only the same person will go back to the way that they were. Like, basically, only the same person will gain the weight back. And I know what Lindsay's talking about when she talks about being mad, because you're like, okay, like, in my perspective, I've been waiting a year to get approved for the lap band for my insurance and, have the money. I worked 2 different jobs. Like, all summer I was working 80, between 50 and 80 hours a week, minimum between both jobs, trying to save up the money and pay off more debt so that I would be able to afford whatever part of the surgery that I needed. Um, and for me, it was kind of do or die. It's like, and I still to an extent feel like if I don't do this, I'm just going to have to resign myself to just saying, well, I'm fat. And I'm just going to be fat. And I'm just going to have to be one of those people that has to be crane lifted out of their house. Um, and obviously, I don't want that to happen. And I feel like I have a lot more to live for. So it's super important to me um, that I do well with this. You know, who would put themselves under anesthesia, go through all this crap that they make you do, all to gain the weight back? That's stupid. Like, that is really stupid. And I think the only people that would actually have that happen were people who were not committed to it and were looking for an easy way out. You know, those people who don't understand the decision to get weight loss surgery say are taking the easy way out, and people who expected it to be some magical answer. Because guess what, folks? There is no magical answer. If I could have had my little fairy godmother wave her wand and make me skinny, girl, I would have done it a long time ago. And that hadn't happened. So I don't see why people will go through that. Anyway, um I'm getting kind of ranty today, so you guys have to bear with me. And I'm using my better high quality camera, so hopefully you can hear me better and the picture quality is a little better. But I wanted to go ahead and say a couple reasons that I do not want to gain the weight back. One would be right now I'm making this video. Um, I'm sitting on my bed, as you can see here. It's one of these like really awesome like cushiony beds, you know, that's got the nice pillow top. It pushes down quite a ways. Um, but I'm sitting on my bed because A, I don't have a desk that really works for the situation, and just because of the situation I'm in, I don't really have space for it, even if I did. But because it is a heavenly bed and feels like you're laying on clouds, it is harder than hell to move around in. Like, I feel like a beached whale when I try to move around. And that's unfortunate. And I know some people are going to be like, oh my God, the girl called herself a beach whale. I didn't call myself a beach whale. But it's really difficult to overcome um, yourself when you're trying to do simple things like sit yourself up in bed in the morning. Right now, because my stomach sticks out so far, I had to stack my laptop on like 4 pillows so that it could be like eye level with me, and so that, you know, this would be decent video instead of you looking like down, like from my lap up to me at a weird angle. Um, like I said, I work at one of those in-store banks that's inside a grocery store, and my boss, several people up from my immediate supervisor, does not want us to have stools because she says that it is unprofessional to sit while your employee is standing. And I guess given the situation, I understand it. But I can't tell you how many times I come home at the end of the day and I feel like my feet have fallen off. Like, literally, I feel like I have no more feet, and it's just my ankles, and like they've just been brutally severed from my body. Not to get too graphic, obviously. I don't do that much at all. Anyway, it it's just so painful, and it's not my knees or anything. I know other people have different areas of their body that hurt because of the pressure the weight puts on them. For me, it all goes to my feet, and it would be nice to be able to stand and, yeah, sure, have sore feet, but not be like, oh my God, I can't wait till the end of this shift. And like halfway through the day, I lose productivity because I'm thinking, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, I just want to be able to sit down for 5 minutes. And then you stand back up and your feet hurt worse because they haven't recovered from the other 4 hours you were standing. I also have trouble with roller coasters. I'm kind of an adrenaline junkie. Like, tattoos, I don't have any yet, but I plan on getting some once I get to Wonderland. I have a couple in mind. I love piercings. I used to love roller coasters when I was in high school. I was still a big girl, but I was like a size 18 or so, 16, 18. I loved um, Six Flags, just everything. Disney World, you name it. I was all about it. Like, just the adrenaline rush was so cool. And it was so out of the ordinary, you know? You got to go do something super awesome. Just not being afraid. Like, okay, at a party this last weekend, I, for the first time in my life, bent a chair leg. Like, the chair would not support my weight. And so the steel frame broke. Like, it wasn't, I don't know if it was steel or not. It probably was. It's some sort of metal. And I had been sitting on this chair successfully for probably about an hour, and all of a sudden the chair just started to tip. And I didn't know if I had been drinking a lot and I just didn't realize it because I wasn't drunk or anything. Um, but so I stood up for a minute, readjusted myself, and sat back down, and the chair started to tip a little more. And so one of my friends goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, bud, whoa, you have to get up because the chair's, he was like, the chair's pretty much had it." And I got up and I looked at the chair and I was so embarrassed. I really wanted to just leave the room and go cry. But me being me, I was kind of like, "Oh, that sucks for the chair," and try to laugh it off like it was some big joke. Um, but, my friend, even though he's trying to be supportive, took the chair into the next room, and I heard him say that he was going to have to hammer the leg back out. And that doesn't make a person feel good. Um, we went to have lunch the next day, and we sat back down at his dining room table. It was the same dining room table. And I made the joke. I was like, "I'm not sure I feel comfortable sitting at this table now because of what happened the other day." And he goes, "Oh man, I knew you would feel that way. I knew that that's how you were feeling when that happened. But I wasn't trying to make a big deal out of it or anything." And he goes, "What you have to understand is, like, I've bent chairs back, like legs on chairs back, before, and you just happen to sit at the chair that we all lean back in and stuff." And I know he's trying to make me feel better, and obviously that's why I'm glad that, I'm friends with him, but I still would have liked to have been a regular size so that even if that had happened, I would have been like, "Damn, if a 150-pound person can bend the leg on this chair, then they need to make better chairs." But with me being 330 pounds, you start to wonder, well, I wasn't there when they bought these chairs, but clearly, a weight in excess of less than what I weigh wasn't designed for these chairs. Um, and luckily everybody at the party was just kind of like, "Oh, well, stuff happens, no big deal." But even still, I was just like, "I can't believe that happened to me. I would really, really, really rather just crawl under a rock right now and pretend like that never happened." Um, so I really just want to lose the discomfort, of my day-to-day life. Consequently, I'd love to have days like today where people walk up to me and, ask me to model for them. That's an incredible ego boost, regardless of whether or not it's creepy or whatever the situation is. Um, I just ultimately want to have that confidence in the way I look, in my appearance. And I know I don't right now. Because in my head I have this unrealistic standard of what I'm supposed to look like, and I'm praying that doesn't carry into, like, when I have lost a decent amount of weight. I don't want to be like 180 pounds and look great and still be like, it's not good enough because I'm not Beyonce on the photo cover of this month's Cosmo, because I'm never going to be that. But I do want to be healthy, and I want to be able to shop in any store that I want. Um, and retrain myself that, life is not all about food, and it doesn't revolve around food, and I can't use food as a crutch anytime I get mad or I get stressed about work or I get upset because my date canceled on me, or I'm wondering why no one's asking me to go out on a date because um I look like I don't take care of myself sometimes. And that's not because I don't take care of myself, I do, but the general perception of heavier people is that they don't. I'm ready to make that change. I'm so there. I just need the 20th to hurry up and get here so we can just rock and roll with it, baby. Oh, and there are two things that I want to point out. I know in my videos, like, I talk about this stuff kind of nonchalantly about some of this stuff happening to me. Obviously, I don't want to get emotional, like, cry in front of people on camera. Um, it really does get to you, you know? Even going through this stuff now, I want this badly for myself, but I don't want it to get to the extent where I forget that I'm doing this for myself and not to prove other people wrong. I've had some pretty bad relationships before, like boyfriends telling me that, no self respecting person would ever want to date me, that kind of thing. I know that's not true. And I knew it then too. I'd just be like, whatever, I don't know who you're talking to because look at all this and it's pretty awesome. You're missing out on it. But deep down, even as hard as I tried then to be like, that's bull, whatever, I can still tell that part of it sunk in with me, and part of it, like, I hear that stuff in the back of my head when I'm in situations where it would serve me better to be confident instead of being a wallflower. And I'm just ready to be over it. Like, I don't want that stuff to hold me back. Mainly I get really frustrated because I don't want to sound cocky. It's gonna sound cocky. I just know that I have so much stuff to offer. I have so many good things about me. I'm a loyal person to my friends and my family. Um, I have a sense of humor, even if it's a little bit slightly self deprecating. I'm trying to work on the self deprecating part of it, but I do have a sense of humor. I just have a lot drive, ambition. I have goals like that I would really love to live out, and I just don't feel like I'm going to get the opportunity that I deserve to do that kind of thing if I don't get my stuff together now with my health. Um, Also, I've been really, really stressed out, trying to get everything ready for the surgery. And I mean, it's like things that I'm becoming aware of now that I didn't used to be before. Like, I'll be watching lap band videos, whether or not it's Banded Wendy or one of my favorites or some new person, or I've taken to the Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works, those videos, and a lot of them are led by Banded Wendy. And I'm like hearing all these people talk about the changes they had to make, and it wasn't easy, but it was worth it. And like next thing I know, my anxiety flares up, and before I even realize it, I'm like eating a bag of Cheetos. Like, oh my god, really? Oh my god, say what? What happened to you? What? And I'm like, I'm sitting here eating, watching videos about weight loss surgery, which I'm about to go through. Like, what? And so it just makes you realize, damn, this is going to be really hard to break out of. These habits are going to be really hard to break out of. And it's something that I'm going to have to be mindful of because I was subconsciously freaking eating because I was anxious about the whole freaking lap band that I'm doing. Which the only reason I'm doing that is because I subconsciously eat Cheetos. You know? Like, it's a vicious cycle that I realize I'm going to have to work a lot to overcome, but I feel like I'm perfectly capable. I'm just going to have to be very aware. Um, but what I wanted to show you is like, I have not had this much acne since like 15. It's really bad. I mean, if you can look at this, I don't know how much you can see, but my face is completely broken out. My chin looks like a minefield. And I'm getting I think I got some acne here. I'm getting it all along my T-zone right there. There's some acne on my forehead now. I have some on my cheek last time I checked. I mean, just everywhere. It is terrible. I mean, it's a lot to take in, but I just didn't anticipate looking like a teenager again. Also, however, for anyone who may be interested, I just wanted to brag about my eyebrows really quick too. You can see them. They look pretty awesome. Kind of faint. But I like to make sure that I look professional, and I usually routinely get my eyebrows waxed. Well, I got them threaded for the first time, if anyone's interested, over 2 weeks ago, and they still look like I just got them done. So I think it's amazing. I paid like $15 to have eyebrows that I would not be surprised if they last me the rest of this month. So I'm in love. Um, and I'm pretty sure I've talked your all's head off enough today. So, those are just some random thoughts. I'll be surprised actually if anybody sits through this video, and I promise next video I'm not going to try to talk for 20 minutes. Okay? Bye.